Welcome to sUSD Spotlight, your go-to source for all things happening within the district. Whether it's celebrating student and staff achievements, delving into trending education topics, or highlighting inspiring human interest stories, we've got you covered. Join us as we illuminate the incredible endeavors taking place in our schools and forge connections within our community. Get ready to be informed, inspired, and engaged as we embark on this journey together, spotlighting the extraordinary in sUSD. Welcome to another edition of sUSD Spotlight. Today, we are taking a look at the district's new and very first Grow with sUSD coloring book, illustrated by Chap High School Junior Jackson Washburn. And we're joined in studio today by Jackson. Welcome, Jackson.
Thank you for having me.
We're so glad to have you here. And I want to first invite you to tell us a little bit about your experience. I understand you started here in Scottsdale. Tell us about that journey.
Yeah, so I've been at sUSD since I was 6 years old. I went to Cheyenne Traditional School for K through 8th grade, and then now I'm at Chap High School until I graduate, which is next year because I'm a junior.
That's pretty exciting. And we're so grateful that you were willing to share your talent on this coloring book. But I want to ask Christine, from a communications perspective, what was the inspiration behind the Grow with sUSD and this idea of a coloring book?
So a number of years ago, in fact, we had a parent that was really excited about this idea with us. And they talked about kindergarten roundup and how that's really just the beginning of your journey here in sUSD. And in fact, today, that journey can begin as young as 2 years old in our toddlers program. And so we wanted to really highlight what that looks like and what the different opportunities are that lie ahead. And my hope for this particular campaign material was that it would be something fun for the kids, and then additionally, a resource for the parents. And so it would not just be a flyer that maybe someday ends up in the trash, but can be something fun and consumable and tell a really great story and get kids excited about what lies ahead. And I have to just share with you really quick a story from this weekend. Dr. Menzel, I told you about this. We were out at Bonanza at City of Scottsdale, had an Easter egg hunt for kids, and we had a bunch of coloring books on hand. And a kid came up, flipped it around to the back, because on the back is a picture of our illustrator, Jackson, and it tells his story. He picks it up and turns it around and says, "Mom, he's a firebird." And I thought it was so cool that this kid already knew. He had just been to a kindergarten roundup. The family had just received this resource, and he remembered your story. So I thought
that's very cool.
It's working. Yes, this is supposed to inspire as well as just empower parents with the choices that they make.
So if I remember correctly, this isn't your first illustration. You did something a year ago, didn't you?
Yeah, Officer Lyons, who's the resource officer at school, he asked me to do like a Rocket coloring book because Rocket's like the dog that everyone loves at Chaparral. And I did it for community service hours because I was applying for NHS that year. Okay. And like, it was so much fun to do. Like, I did it through like just when I had time through my art class and through winter break. And like, I have it still up in my room because it just is like, I don't know, I'm proud of it.
It was a really great project. And how long have you known that you were interested in being an illustrator or doing this kind of work?
Ever since I was little, I kind of like knew I wanted to do something creative. But like when I got to like freshman year, I had a really good studio art teacher, and she just like made me kind of realize like how much I loved it, and like that was more than just kind of like a hobby to me. And then like I just realized how like many art classes Chaparral had, and it has like a lot of AP classes too. So like I just like knew that was kind of like the route I wanted to go. Like I did like Spanish 3 honors over the summer, so I could do 2 art classes this year. So
okay,
I've been trying to figure it out.
So you're a little driven this way.
Yeah.
So when you think about what's in the coloring book, what were some of the sources of inspiration for you as we started telling the story of Grow with sUSD?
So like for a lot of pictures, it just was kind of like, since I've been in the school system for so long, it just is like a lot of the images were based off of like how I felt at the time. Like I'm like specifically for like the first page, like I remember like when I was like in kindergarten, I'm like, oh my God, I have a backpack. And then in 3rd grade, I had like a binder. So like, I feel so mature, which is like, well, I put on like the superhero cape and like that type of stuff. Like, I just remember like the feelings I had at those certain stages, and I just put them down on paper.
How much fun was it then to reflect on those days?
So much fun. Like, my best friend, we met in kindergarten at Cheyenne, and like I was showing her some of like the pages I did for the coloring book, because I was like, do you remember like this type of stuff that we did when we were little? And she's like, yes. She's like, so it's really fun to bond with her over that type of stuff too. And like also like people come up and like who've also been in the school system that like I know at Chaparral now, and they're like, I remember doing this stuff, and I was like, I know, but it just is cool to like connect with people about it, because I'm like, there's so many other people besides myself that have like gone through these certain things. And the other thing is with this page, so like I know someone and his little sister, like she was like talking to me, she's like, oh my God, like I didn't know Jackson put Spanish like in the coloring book. And I was like, so I told him, I was like, I'm so happy she noticed that, because I wanted to add like just a little bit of everything in the coloring book.
Well, and that's a good example. The Spanish is there alongside the Mandarin, where we're really taking a moment to highlight the dual language immersion programs that exist in our district K through 8. And so again, it was a great vehicle to be able to, just show the community what opportunities lie ahead, and then for Jackson to reflect on his experiences and illustrate this story, the sUSD story, and all the ways that that the children can grow with us.
And we have a diverse student population, and I thought you took specific care to make sure that you're representing the vast array of students who come to our schools, and so they can see themselves in the coloring book.
Yeah, that was like really important for me, because like I know growing up, like I didn't get like with like media I was exposed to, I didn't get like a lot of representation and stuff, but like being able to like do that, like that's a really big reason why I want to like do something like for kids, like whether it's like animating shows or something else, like just so I like give them the opportunity to see like themselves on the TV instead of just like one person.
So Jackson, I'm looking at this 23-page coloring book, and I'm curious what the process was as you developed the concept and worked with the communications team, and how long it actually took to put this all together.
Yeah, so I think it was like last fall. Miss Harrington, she came to me and she like came with me the idea of like a coloring book, like talking about like all the years at sUSD from like the toddlers to like graduating and stuff. And she came with me like with like a brief like description about like what each page to kind of like touch on, like academically, like with sports, like with like just a well-roundedness of like the school district. And then she let me have like a lot of creative freedom with it. Like she kind of let me like run with it. So like was it in October that
I believe, yeah, it was last fall, so fall 2023, that we first engaged. And it was, of course, because I saw the Rocket coloring book. So I was already aware of your talent, reached out, wondered if he had the bandwidth to be able to take on another project junior year. And then we had a series of meetings sort of on the regular to see what his thought process was, in addition to sort of as we finessed the language that would be in there. And we kind of storyboarded some things, and he'd shoot over some emails, some examples of what he was thinking of. And because there were certain things we knew we wanted to get in there. We wanted it to be representative of athletics, not just one sport or another, boys and girls. Make sure, for dual language immersion, that some of these visuals could also come across. Music, band, art, strings, those specials that we have that we know not every school offers. So there were a lot of things we wanted to touch on, and then make sure that the diversity was there, that we saw our special education also recognized, our early learners and the likes thereof. And so we just kind of went back and forth then, as of course your schedule got busier, and then there was winter break. And I think we got close to our final draft January, end of January.
Yeah, like the reason why like I wanted to take like a lot of time with it is just because of like that representation factor. Like for like my final last year in English, like I did like a 15-minute presentation on like why that's so important. So like I just wanted like a coloring book that like really touched on everyone, like just like people that like I could look to, like just anyone basically, like my boyfriend or like my other friends that like are of like minorities. I just wanted like a well-roundedness, and like that's so important to me, which is why I took so much time with it, which is why I was so happy to give me the opportunity for that, because like that's what I kind of want to do with my life. So like it was just a really cool, and I wanted to take like time with it. So it took about like 4 months to get it right, but then when we did, I mean, it's like it's selling out a lot, so I'm assuming it's good.
It's really impressive, but I'm curious, have you actually colored it?
No, I have not yet. No.
I would love to see your finished product, to see how you actually flesh out the details of your illustration.
Yeah, maybe after the ACT's done now, so maybe I'll have time to.
Exactly. So, Christine, how could someone get their hands on this coloring book?
Well, these have been a really hot commodity. I mean, they go quicker than our print shop can even keep up. But we've got a big order in, and of course, we're going to make sure that our elementary schools have them to share with families who are touring their schools, as well as our early learning campuses. And additionally, we'll have the PDF on our website so parents can print coloring pages at home and again, have this resource to learn more about our schools and their offerings, and additionally have something fun for the kids to do.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Well, I really appreciate the care and attention to detail that you put in this. What's next for you after you finish your senior year? Obviously, you have to get through one more year, but what are you thinking beyond high school?
So I'm like I think I'm gonna go to like ASU Barrett. I mean, if I get in, fingers crossed. But I think like career option, I'm really going in between like doing like a career in animation, like going down the creative path. But I'm also like the complete opposite side of the spectrum. I'm like really interested in medicine and like like physician's assistant, like that type of stuff. So I'm gonna like kind of explore both like when I can in college and just kind of see which one I like gravitate towards. But who knows? I could totally change my mind tomorrow, but we'll see.
Well, I will tell you what was most important about us in telling the story is that we, again, highlight the student talent that exists in the district. And this is just already, like I said before, opened so many eyes to just the talent that exists here, the artistry, and the opportunity that lies ahead. So we thank you so much for taking the time to work on this project with us. It was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah. It didn't feel like a job. Like it felt like I was just like, looking back on it didn't feel like a job or like a task. It just felt like I was doing it for fun.
Well, and how did it feel when you were asked to autograph some of these coloring books?
Definitely boosted my ego.
Well, it's a great resource, and it's going to live on for a long time already based on the feedback. And Grow with sUSD as a campaign will continue to grow as well as we roll out a number of other elements of the campaign. But this especially this time of year with the early learning enrollment that's open. And then additionally, of course, our kindergarten roundups. We wanted to get this out in the community's hands just as quick as possible. And you helped us make that happen. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate that. I also like to ask students about their experience. As we exist to serve the needs of our students. So what would you identify as something that's really working well on the campus at Chaparral? What might be an opportunity for us to improve? And if you have a favorite teacher or educational experience that you'd like to share, we'd love to hear it.
The thing I really do like about Chaparral is just like the course variety. Like even like I don't know all the courses offered. Like someone was taking like a criminal justice class and I was like, we have a criminal justice class? Like stuff like that. But like I was really worried going to high school that like I wasn't going to get a lot of art options because like a lot of people tend to like neglect like the art side. But like part of the reason why I picked Chaparral is because of like the arts programs and like that type of stuff. So like I've really like just like the opportunity for like a bunch of different things because I can take like AP art at the same time as like chemistry and HPA and like a bunch of other classes. So that was like what I really like about Chaparral. There's not really anything like specific. I mean, like just like any other kid, like I have to wake up and go to school and stuff. But like junior year has been really good for me. Like it's been like less stressful than I thought it was going to be, and I have a really good group of friends, and just it's been an easier year. So like things are going good right now.
Well, I am very glad to hear that. And any teachers or experience that you would like to highlight?
Well, both my art teachers that I've had, Mr. Bilger and Miss Hart, like they were like very much like, because I almost didn't do art at Chaparral just because like middle school I didn't necessarily get like a great experience, but Miss Hart like just helped me realize like how much I liked it, and then Mr. Bilger helped me like because he's like teaches all like the advanced classes, so like I've had him last year, this year, and I'm having him next year, and like they just really keep me like on my feet and going like motivated.
Nice. Well, I'm blown away by your talent. I'm grateful that you were willing to share it with us, that we can share with the community. And want to say that we're so appreciative for all that you've done and wish you well as you finish your junior year and move into your senior year.
Thank you.
And that will conclude another exciting episode of sUSD Spotlight. We invite you to join us on the extraordinary stories that make Scottsdale Unified School District a truly exceptional place.
And please take a moment to pitch us your ideas. We look forward to hearing from you on our website at susd.org/spotlight.